Hi, everybody. Happy day. Time for your eInspire with Pastor Paul. And today, just talking to the Patreon community. This is one of the benefits you get for being a patron of the Pastor Paul Nonpartisan Evangelical Patreon community. These special gifts of content that's made just for you. Tell your friends, because what you're doing is helping support all that we do and helping me continue to do this as a vocation, so that I can really spend my time concentrating on it and making it beautiful. And so thank you for your subscription. We're also doing a rebrand that's coming up. So we're going to be fundraising with that a little bit. And you're already in with what you're doing on your Patreon subscription. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And would you do me a favor and invite somebody else, show them the content from your Patreon page that they can't get anywhere else, and comment, leave comments. Let's make this an interactive community. More good stuff is coming. I'm going to have a new website soon that we may kind of port this over there, but I'll make sure that you're getting your money's worth. But also, ultimately, it's not about me making sure your subscription is worth it, but hopefully me making sure that you feel good to be giving in as part of this community. And that is the goal. So welcome today. I'm going to talk a little politics today. Let me show you a headline from the Washington Post. And I know some people are really scared. Oh, Washington Post. Oh, it's the mainstream media. Oh, but I think this is a really important story. America owes thanks to Trump's lawyers, even William Barr. And it's really interesting. Wow, I've got like an alfalfa hair up here I'm seeing there. It's interesting. This story is talking about how when President Trump was trying to overthrow the election, it was lawyers that saved America. And even William Barr, who was probably the most partisan and corrupt attorney general of my lifetime, a Catholic man who said he was doing it for God. And in my mind, he felt God gave him justification for doing really corrupt partisan things in his support of President Donald Trump. Even William Barr was one of the attorneys that at the end of it all, when the president was trying to overthrow an American democratic election, said, no, we will not go there. And there's a book coming out now in the opinion piece by George Conway, who is very adamantly partisan against Donald Trump, is talking about how lawyers were the ones that said, President Trump will stand with you, but now you're going too far. Trying to overturn democracy, we're not going to let it happen. And it should make us shudder a little bit to think that if we didn't have the attorneys that would take that stand, and even William Barr, how fragile our democracy is, and how much we should understand that if we didn't have these attorneys, and in fact, I think if we didn't have somebody as unintelligent as Donald Trump in the White House, we could have been in even greater trouble than what we were in. And that this thing isn't over, that if a smart Donald Trump ever got elected to office and realized how easy it was to manipulate the system and manipulate the people of America, we could be in real trouble. But the thing I love about this story, and it made me think this week, was what I think really got to those attorneys was the ethics of the profession of Esquire. And now some of you may say, oh, an ethical attorney, come on. But why would these guys ultimately stand for truth? And why were the courts, when every other institution was falling, the House Republicans and the House Senators or the Senate Republicans were willing to give in and sell their souls to Donald Trump? Even Ted Cruz, who Donald Trump said his dad killed John Kennedy and his wife was ugly, even he's willing to sell his soul for Donald Trump when all these institutions were crumbling around us. The courts and our attorney system held. Why? Because there's an ethics level that's required to carry a license of attorney. And we may laugh at the idea of ethical attorneys, but at the end of the day, those lawyers were intimidated by the inspection of their peers. They knew there were committees that could take away their law license. Did you know that Bill Clinton was an attorney and he was disbarred because he lied to Kenneth Starr's in Kenneth Starr's look into the Monica Lewinsky stuff? Bill Clinton lost his attorney's license and has never been able to work as an attorney again. And of course, he didn't have to because he made money in other ways. But That is the ethics of being an attorney. And what if we had that same level of ethics where we scrutinized one another in our other areas of life, and particularly our politicians? I'm thinking, like, why, if attorneys do this to each other, why wouldn't politicians? All the more so. Why wouldn't we have a test of ethics that you have to take to become an elected official, and then you be judged against that ethics pledge for the rest of your career? And if you violate it, you lose your license and you can never be elected again. If you tell some thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of lies as president, and you can't say, well, this is the national security reason that I told that lie, you lose your license and you cannot run again. Why would we not want that? How about pastors? Why wouldn't we set an ethics level for pastors? And I know some denominations do, but why wouldn't we set a standard that if you're a pastor and you violate this, you can never be a pastor again? Why wouldn't we set these ethics standards in other places? So I am so thankful today that the ethics standards of attorneys and the self-scrutiny of the industry itself caused attorneys that had placated and bowed down to Donald Trump at the last minute to say, hell no, that is a bridge too far, President Trump. We will not overturn democracy so you can stay in office. Why wouldn't we have those ethical standards, the bare minimum of ethical standards for our politicians and our pastors and other places as well? Something to think about. I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts in the comment section. And thanks again for being one of Pastor Paul's nonpartisan evangelical patrons and helping support this work of 21st century Christianity and letting the world know God is not mad at you. Have a great, great day.